Hello, welcome back to Screen Babble.
Hello.
Screen Babble is your must listen to podcast where we'll take you through the best in TV. On today's episode, we're looking at the return of the bear, dun dun dun, the ITV Sky deal, and all the big changes afoot in British TV. I'm your host, Kelly Crichton, and I'm joined by TV critic Matt Mohan-Hickson. Matt is here to tell us what's hot and what's not as ever, although you have been through the ringer since we last met, Matt. You poor thing. Tell us how you are.
I've been decidedly not hot recently. I had wisdom tooth surgery, so it's not been a fun week or so for me. Not to get
You're
too
just coming back round.
Yeah, they sort of carved me up like a pumpkin. So I said, can you make it look like the Screen Babble logo?
Oh my goodness! No, what a nightmare!
We're good. We're back. Not just eating soup. I don't think I'm going to be able to touch soup for a while. It was soup and yogurt for just days on end. I think. I'm turned off them forever now. Or at least until autumn.
Yeah. You have my sympathies. There's nothing worse than dental pain. It really just messes absolutely everything up. Gives you a headache.
Yeah.
And you can't eat and all that. So it's really a horrible time. But glad you are on the mend. So you've had a bit of time to be watching stuff, haven't you? So tell us, what have you been watching recently?
Well, I started and then I ended up falling asleep because I was tooth pain related. But I don't know if for my fellow millennials, people who remember shows like Samurai Jack and Dexter's Laboratory that were sort of all the rage in the 2000s. Well, the creator of that, Genndy Tarkovsky, who also does the Hotel Transylvania movies, which your kids might be familiar with, Kelly.
Yes.
He has a show called Primal that's on like Now TV, and it's a completely silent thing where it's like a caveman and a dinosaur sort of form an unlikely kind of alliance. And while I was like, out of it, I was like, yes, I want to see a caveman and a dinosaur on adventures, and it was fun.
I'm taking this as it's cartoon, is it?
Yeah, cartoon. Yeah. So it was perfect while groggy from the few lucid
and
moments.
You feel like it's like you're like off school on the couch again, isn't
it? And then
bless.
I was also watching, and I'm going to blame this on the grogginess from the tooth that it took me so long to realise this. But I was watching a show I'd seen advertised on Sky One. Yeah, I think Sky One, because Sky changed all the names of the bloody channels. I can't remember what they're called anymore. It's called Best Medicine, and it's like a medical drama in a cosy sort of New England town. And it took me about 3 episodes to realise it's Doc Martin. It's just American Doc Martin. They've remade Doc Martin in America.
Oh, no way. Hilarious.
It took me embarrassingly long time to be like, wait a second.
But wait, now, did you enjoy it?
Yes, it's really nice.
Yeah.
It's very pleasant when you're...
I'm surprised you haven't gone back. You love those. I'm surprised you haven't gone back to watch the whole of Murder, She Wrote again.
I would. I think...
Can you get it anywhere, I wonder, the whole thing?
I don't think so at the moment. I think, I kind of want to watch Columbo as well, but like the box set's quite expensive. It's like £100 or something. And I'm like, I know there's like a billion episodes of Columbo, but it's the change in
Murder, She Wrote used to be our, like, when we were like just mitching off classes in uni. It was always on around lunchtime. I would be like, should we just nip over to so-and-so's and we'll watch an episode of Murder, She Wrote? God. Iconic, though. Jessica Fletcher. Love her.
Just like a bit like Midsummer Murder, the house prices wherever Jessica Fletcher was must have been extremely low.
Cabot Cove, wasn't it? Cabot Cove.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, hilarious. There's actually a festival where it was filmed. They have a Jessica Fletcher festival or a Murder, She Wrote festival there now, and it's hilarious. I saw a clip recently of all these women dressed in jogging suits, obviously taking off a scene where she was jogging sometime, and they all go around dressed up as her in the jogging suits. It looks hilarious. I was like, I could totally get on board with this.
Yeah. More places need things like that. We need more just silly festivals, don't we? Yeah.
Exactly. And just reasons to get dressed up and act in Egypt, basically. So Best Medicine, right. What else have you been watching? Anything else exciting?
And then I also binge watched, once I was more lucid, I binge watched on I play The Mother of All Cons, which is like a 3-part documentary. It's
think I started watching this about the charity, was it?
About the charity Believe in Magic, and it's really like it's very watchable. Like kind of a crazy story where it's sort of like, I can't believe this happened, and yet it kind of did. Like I remember the Believe in Magic stuff, at the time, and it was sort of everywhere for a bit, wasn't it? Like
they got One Direction on board with them, didn't they? So it was basically like almost like a Make a Dream Foundation kind of thing, but it was essentially
Make a Wish, wasn't it? Really,
supporting sick kids and their families and just doing nice things for them. But I mean, I've only seen the first episode, and I was like, some of this was like over the top. There was like trips to Harrods and things like that, and you're thinking, not that sick kids don't deserve those things, but like the cost, it was like the sheer scale of the cost of the things they were doing was mad. That they were paying for. They weren't being given by the businesses.
They were using the money.
Them with money
raised, weren't they? Yeah.
I must finish it. I forgot I started that actually, so thank you for the tip.
Oh, of course.
I mean, our house has been wall-to-wall World Cup, Matt. I'm not being funny, so I have watched very, very little TV in the last 4 weeks, but what I did watch was a documentary that's come to Netflix called Shipwrecked Nightmare at Sea. And actually, I was kind of, for a second, like, we've seen this already, thinking that it was that one that came out last year about that ship that everything kind of went wrong on in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. But actually, this was about the sinking of the Costa Concordia, which, by the way, was in 2012.
No, it was. It was definitely in 2020. It wasn't.
My God, I thought it was like
years ago.
What? When I realised that, I was like, no. I thought it was like 5-6 years ago max. I just don't. My concept of long term, I don't know what it is, but I mean, 2012 was the London Olympics, and it was like a big year, But anyway, so basically, this I think they're the Concordia. God, I'm losing my train of thought here. Sorry. So basically, this cruise ship was off the coast of Italy. Mm-hmm. They wanted to do this sort of like what you call like a flyby or a sail by this particular island because somebody on board had a connection to it or whatever. And basically, long story short, like they ran into some rocks because captain didn't know where he was going, basically. And then, the documentary kind of unfolds over the next few hours. And I mean, the thing about it is they had some images and stuff from the boat, but they didn't have a lot of video. They had bits of video. But they kind of cleverly used video that could have been taken at any time of, when people like film they might arrive and they film their cabin and they'd film the dining room or whatever. So they were able to kind of like intersperse and, put like moody music on top of it, and it became ominous all of a sudden. Do you know what I mean? So that was quite clever. But I mean, it was really harrowing watch because like the captain was so slow in responding to what happened and not wanting to kind of accept liability that he really did put loads of people's lives in jeopardy. Now, 32 people died. So
it's crazy.
It was horrendous. It was a big tragedy. But I mean, there was a couple on it who had a baby with them, and it was just horrendous listening to what they had to do to get off the boat. Like they got kind of trapped in one part and couldn't get on the high part of the boat when it was, tilting to the other side. And then they had to eventually try and get to the other side because they couldn't jump off the high side. They had to get to the lower side to get out somehow. And they had to like, the ship was at such an angle, they had to actually slide down the corridors. And they're talking about sliding down the corridors with this baby held against them, and the baby got hit in the head, and oh my God, like it's horrendous. But kind of jaw-dropping, the whole story. Like I was aware of parts of it, and I was kind of aware of some of the what came out in the court afterwards. But my God, well worth a watch, and it's like hour and a half, easy sort of watching time. So I'd recommend that. Even though it is a little bit, it would put you off going on cruise liners, to be honest. Which I've never done before, so maybe I will never do. But So anyway, it got us thinking. Your little toothache incident. Mm-hmm. What are the go-to comfort TV shows that you always go back to, Matt, if you're ill or if you're down or whatever? What is your comfort watch?
Yeah, when I'm poorly or down or whatever, I'm having a hard time, I just really love watching like procedural TV shows. I like watching like shows like where people are just good at a job, where it's like whether that's a fireman, a librarian, whatever, like, a doctor in Cornwall that's actually now in North America. But it's something cozy about it's going to be okay at the end of the episode.
Yeah. There's nothing like terrible going to happen or whatever, and they always catch the criminal or whatever. Yeah, I get it. A bit like Murder, She Wrote. You know what I'm going to say, Matt. I always go back to the soaps. It's the soaps. Even if, say, I only watch Coronation Street these days, and I am about 20 episodes behind in it because I never get a chance to watch it. But say, for example, I was up to date with that, I would still sit down and watch Emmerdale or EastEnders or whatever quite happily, So I do love the soaps, but also I love like that Called the Midwife, just a very nice kind of pastoral, easy thing that's got some good actors, and it's all going to be fine in the end. So and actually I was thinking about it. I was thinking Gogglebox is a weird comfort watch.
Yeah.
I think it's just that feeling of you kind of collegiate feeling of when they say the thing that you're thinking, and you're like, yeah, we all think the same about whatever the silly thing is that they're watching, and it's funny. Yeah,
it's like the coziness of you're almost in the house with them, aren't they? And the celebrity one is quite fun as well, because it's like, oh yeah, they also do watch Coronation Street. And
and they also react the same way we react, and it makes you feel a bit connected to them too. So it's great. Okay, moving along, we are going to talk about The Bear now. Obviously, it's come back. It's on Disney. It's the 5th and final series. It's had its fair share of criticism for the last series 3 and 4 anyway. Yeah. But apparently things are looking up for series 5. Now, you've watched some of it, Matt, so tell us. Don't give away too many spoilers.
I will not, because I don't think I have enough to spoil, to be honest. Yeah. I remember The Bear coming out. I mean, it's quite amazing with The Bear, because it's 5 seasons in 5 years. That's basically actual TV again. It's a surprise when that happens these days, and not 3 years between seasons. But The Bear, it was such magic when it came out, wasn't it? That the crazy concept of trying to bring fine dining stuff to a family run sandwich shop, and the chaos and everyone shouting, and you finish the episode and you're like, gosh, I need a wet cloth on my head to lie down.
It was so stressful. Oh my god, anything to do with kitchens is always stressful, isn't it? But go on.
And I think season 2 is the start of when things season 2 laid the groundwork for things that went wrong in a way, because season 2 is when they started to switch to try and make it like a fine dining restaurant, as opposed to this sandwich shop with ever so slightly more aspirations. And they had those couple of episodes in that season. There was actually 3, wasn't there? There was Fishes, the one with the worst Christmas meal ever, that's just so
what an episode. So I think that was a classic example again of by the end of it, your nails were bitten down to the quick, it was oh my god, this is so insanely stressful. And for some people, I think probably quite triggering, god, but it was great.
And then you had the one where Marcus, the dessert chef, went off to Copenhagen, and he was with is it Will Poulter, the actor? Will Poulter, and learning to be a dessert chef, basically. And then there was the one where cousin Richie went off to learn how to be a good server and not just shout at people. And I think in that season it worked. They got the balance right. But I think with season 3 and 4, they ended up taking the wrong lessons from those episodes that got so well received. It was almost everything became everyone was kind of separated, and the magic of the bear is them all in the kitchen, shouting, bouncing off each other, and too often, with season 3 and 4, it felt like everyone's off doing elsewhere stuff, and
sanitized.
There's good episodes, but it's but I don't feel like I've seen these people in the same room. I don't know if that was I was going to say, I don't know if it's a cover thing, but the show started in 2022, so that was when it was worse.
Yeah.
So
maybe there was filming issues with this,
maybe
sometimes you notice that in some TV series and films, sometimes you're those people have never been in a scene together, and you're is it because they had to film all their stuff separately or whatever?
I mean,
but no, I'm in agreement.
They've been in demand, haven't they, all the actors? I mean, Jeremy Allen White's in loads of stuff.
Yeah.
Cousin Richie's actor was in the Fantastic Four, so maybe that's why they were all siloed off for a bit. And, you know, even when it's not as good as it was, like The Bear's still an interesting TV show, you know, like it's really well
you definitely
filmed,
still watch it.
And, you know, there's interesting stuff. And like, I mean, I think like Cousin Richie is just like one of the best TV characters this decade, I think. Like his arc from just this like loudmouth, grumpy lout to, I don't know, something more is it's a bit inspirational, really, isn't it? In a way, like it's a nice, nice story arc.
I love the boys that come in and try to fix things. You know, the cousins. They all call each other cousins, don't they? But isn't one of them one of the actual writers of the series? One of the guys.
No, but he's a like an actual like food person, the one with all the tattoos, and you know, he has a cookbook. Like I've seen it in Waterstones. He has like a cookbook, and I think he has like a food YouTube channel. He does like I
thought he was one of the writers or one of the. I thought he was like more involved behind the scenes. But no, I mean, I just love all that chaos as well, because like people are like that in real life. You know, everyone knows quirky people or weird people. You know, and like they just kind of are around or whatever. Like
exactly.
You know, I loved. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, like bouncing off that, I think that's one thing the bed is so good is that like, everyone feels like people. Like they're all like in their own way. Like they're not sort of, here's the kind of TV characters that you get. It's like, yeah, all these people are just people. Like it's almost documentary-esque in a way.
Yes, it is. I was about to say that. Like it's almost, I don't know if they were fully scripted. They were probably just like, were given an outline script or whatever, and they were just told to go with it, you know, because you can definitely tell that with some of the scenes. Like obviously that fishes episode was so mental, like it was just chaotic, you know. But I mean, powerful performances from everybody, but particularly Jamie Lee Curtis, like unbelievable. And then do you remember the one, it was actually season 3 where Natalie goes into labour.
Ice Chips, is it called? Something like that?
Yes, it's called Ice Chips. And she sits and she talks to her. And that was really powerful as well, because it was this sort of failed mother trying to be a mother at long last while her daughter became a mother. Like it was fabulous, you know, the whole idea.
That whole character is really interesting because it's not a thing you often see in TV and fiction, because like there are bad parents on TV and fiction, but not in it's usually like they're abusive or horrible, and you don't get the sense their mother is that. She's just not particularly good at being a mother, like, you know, like she's just not broken. Really suited for that, you know, like which, you know, I guess
it is still quite a taboo thing, the kind of bad mom, you know. It's still people don't always focus on it, do they? Because moms are great, and moms are people you come back to, and you know, but she's the opposite. She's like carnage. She's like a bad influence, you know. But no, really good. So have you watched?
I've just
episode. Did you
started season 5, and by all accounts, from everything I've seen, it's a return to form. It's really funny because they're cribbing a bit from 24 and The Pit, and most of the season, I gather, is in quote unquote real time. So it's like one service where they're trying to get a Michelin star, and and it's all just, you know, sort of an hour, you know. However long the episodes are, is an hour of time in that shift, and it sort of brings, cool. And now they're all back. You know, they're all there, like they're not off on sort of side adventures elsewhere. You know, in Chicago,
side quests,
you know, they
did have a boiling point, didn't they? The real time. Yeah, that was like a single shot thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I doubt it was single shot, but
but
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to having some time, but I feel like it could be flipping September by the time I watch it. Really, I'm going.
And it's not one you can just passively watch, is it? It's not like
no, and I don't want to start it and then like, you know, not watching. I don't want to watch an episode and then not watch an episode for 3 weeks. I want to like get into it. You know what I mean? Because even I had started like House of the Dragon and I haven't got past like episode 2, I think. So I'm trying to do things in order as well.
Especially with the World Cup, I haven't had any time.
And the weather's been so good as well. You know, we're like outside a lot more. But anyway, we're doing ourselves out of business on Screen Babble. It's terrible. Okay, so this got us thinking about what about series in the past that we've watched or enjoyed that kind of went bad but actually redeemed themselves, which is apparently what's happening in The Bear season 5. What comes to mind when you think about that, Matt?
For me, it's one of my like all-time favorite TV shows, Justified. But that was on for 6 seasons. It's really fantastic. Season 5, the penultimate one, is not that good. Like, it's not bad, but it's just clearly like a step down, and sort of suffered from that. They want to end, but you can't. You have to get things in place to then do the final season, and it's sort of at the time it feels a bit lightweight. But then season 6 was fantastic and one of the best endings of a TV show, I think. I can remember.
It's great. It's good when they do claw it back, but the problem is they could have lost you before then, you know, unless people had real staying power, kind of like were hoping that would be the case. I mean, when I was Googling this, the names that came up were The Walking Dead, The West Wing, Dexter, and I actually haven't watched any of them. People kill me when I tell them I haven't watched The West Wing, but
I would dispute that The Walking Dead ever got good again. Like, it was maybe not as bad as it was, but I mean, that thing was on forever, and like, it just never really ended.
Yeah. It was like, so, exactly.
It was like
so we never found. Yeah, exactly. But one I did watch, which I thought got bad and then picked up a little bit again at the end, was Peaky Blinders.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I loved the start of it. It just went off on a mad tangent, and then the last series was good. But then the film, I was a bit let down with the film again. So it's like, you know, you invest all this time and energy into something, and then it, you know, like we were talking about a few weeks ago, and then it's like, oh, they cancel it or whatever, and you're like, oh god. So you have to kind of pick and choose carefully. But there's not too many of them out there, is there?
No, I think it is hard to turn it back around. Yeah.
I mean, it probably takes getting whole new sets of writers and stuff, which is really hard for.
For
you know,
sure.
think about things like Doctor Who and that. You know what I mean? That
exactly.
have had great series and terrible series and great series and terrible series. Like that's, I think it's just been going so long.
Yeah,
there's a roller coaster inevitably. Okay, that is The Bear. Right. So now we're looking at, there's a lot of chat in the press recently about the fact that ITV and Sky are teaming up essentially.
Yeah.
And things are going to change. So what does that mean for the viewers, Matt? Tell us.
Yeah, so Sky have bought ITV. It's subject to approval from the regulator, like the government basically, and shareholders as well. They have to prove, but I imagine they will, because, you know, why wouldn't you want 1.6 billion pounds? Like, you know, I don't think a shareholder's going to turn that down, are they? But yeah, so the long-term picture, we don't know. We know short-term. Obviously, it hasn't actually, like, it's sort of that weird thing where it's like, it's agreed, but it's not actually through. So things won't change. You know,
for a long time,
straight away. And ITV is legally required to remain as a free public, you know, free to air public broadcaster until 2034. So they're not going to be, you know, you're not going to have to worry about paying to watch Coronation Street and Emmerdale. Like,
is that because they get public money essentially to do a certain amount of public broadcasting?
You know, like it's like they agree like 10-year deals, I think, you know, a bit like BBC and their charter. So, there's talk though that Sky stuff will come to ITV and ITVX. One of the ones they've mentioned quite strongly is Saturday Night Live. Like, it's just a good way for them to get more people to watch Saturday Night Live. Like, it was obviously a success on Sky One, and it was a fun show, but way more people watch ITV than Sky One, don't they? Like, you know.
But what's the toss up then of like people who pay for Sky, you know, and then they don't have to, some of the.
I guess they'll probably, I think the talk is put the first season just before the second season starts on ITV, so then you have to go to Sky to
watch. Oh, I get you. Sneaky.
You know, so
right.
Trailing, and you know, I think there'll be like box sets. I mean, ITV does randomly get box sets from like Disney.
They'll keep their premium content on Sky, obviously.
So, like, I imagine, I don't know if you'd see like House of the Dragon or The Last of Us or something, but some other shows, you know, like pop up on there, like your best medicine might appear, given that was an ITV show.
Right.
Yeah, so
so probably not. Yeah, probably not major changes really in the short term, but down the line, 2034 could be huge.
Yeah,
change.
exactly. Like if I had a crystal ball, it would be helpful. I'd bring it out for the podcast.
But I hope they don't bloody scrap Coronation Street, because I would not be happy if that happens.
Was a quote I saw from Sky News, which it's always funny when like Sky or BBC report on themselves. Like it's really weird.
Yeah, it is. It always is. Oh my God, I always say that. It's so funny when
apparently one of the
especially when it's really bad stuff.
One of the big sort of early doors like messages is that they want ITV to have original like broadcast of programming between 6 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. That's one of their big early things. So I think like good. Stuff like Corrie and Emmerdale, like
the news.
I think they know where their bread's buttered. You know, the soaps are reliable, aren't they?
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know, do you consider the news to be original programming? I mean, I guess it is, but...
Well, I suppose, and what else goes out in that time? Like their drama, I suppose, ITV drama goes out around that time.
Exactly.
And their kind of family entertainment stuff on the weekend is that time, isn't it?
I mean...
Okay, watch this space, I suppose,
Pure speculating. I wonder if you'll end up seeing a bit more high-budget ITV original stuff, like... You know, you might, like Sky often does those like kind of like action-y shows, don't they? Like, like you wonder if a future season of Red Eye,
like the Brassics of the world and things like that as well,
might just have a bit more, you know, special effects than they might otherwise and stuff. But and
it'd be interesting. I mean, Sky evidently have loads of money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so this could be a good thing. Like, and it could create more jobs and all that stuff. So look, who knows? Watch the space. I'm sure we'll find out in due course.
One of the big twists out of this in sort of, I think this early talks adjacent is that sort of Channel 4 and BBC might team up to like, you know, not do another BritBox, obviously, because BritBox, I don't know how successful that was, but there's talk that they're going to sort of combine as like in some ways do some sort of combining with streaming services to sort of combat this deal. And there's talk that Channel 4, the app that used to be called All 4 or 4OD or, you know, 4Player or whatever it was back in the old days. I mean, you know, Channel 4's a stupid name for it. I used to hate having to write Channel 4, the app, after writing Channel 4, the TV station. You know, it's too confusing. But like talk that Channel 4 stuff could potentially come to iPlayer, including, obviously, the big headline one was Great British Bake Off. So, Great British Bake Off.
Which kind of feels like it could be on the BBC anyway, because it was before.
Like it was a BBC show before it left to join Channel 4. Would be like a homecoming of sorts. I mean, I imagine it would probably be on iPlayer after it being on Channel 4. Like, I can't imagine have it, you know, broadcast live on.
You know what? iPlayer, BBC, they need to do that stuff. They need to be like differentiating themselves from the other places, not only in TV, but in audio and sounds and everything. They need to be like, well, this is what we do. And we do this the best, you know, as opposed to trying to be the same, you know.
And then I guess Channel 4 saves money in having to run a streaming service as well, app sort of thing.
A separate crap app that they keep changing the name
exactly. of. The Screen Babble seal of approval, Channel 4.
Exactly. Finally, just call it BBC iPlayer.
Exactly.
So this got us thinking, there's a lot of chat about whether we should scrap the TV license. Matt, what's your take on it?
For me, no. Like, I think the BBC is one of our great modern institutions. Like, obviously, they have to find ways to funding. Obviously, the TV license maybe isn't fully, you know, hacking it anymore. That's why there was always talk of making people who only watch Netflix pay it. But I think it's more than worth it. Like, the quality of stuff you get from the BBC is fantastic. And it would be a sad day to sort of lose the BBC as it is.
We have that ad that's running at the moment, obviously, that with Ramesh Ranganathan, and it's like, what has the BBC ever done for me? And my God, it's done so much, you know, and it continues to do so much.
Specifically for Ramesh Ranganathan, to be honest.
Yeah, Jesus, he's everywhere at the moment. It's ridiculous. But I think, you know, the problem is that we're dealing with younger generations who don't even necessarily have a television, right? They watch stuff on their laptop, whatever, and they're not used to, they're like, a license? Like what? You know, it's not even... The language is antiquated, you know, and I think if we were talking about you have to subscribe to terrestrial TV, then they would maybe understand it more. But the problem with that is it's going to cost an absolute fortune to make, you know, the terrestrial TV channels subscription based. And do you want to waste that money as a public body on setting up, you know, an admin system, basically?
Exactly.
So it's difficult, but I think even a change in language would help them. You know, stop calling it the TV license and call it your BBC subscription. You know?
And I don't know. I think they just improve the messaging. Like what's the BBC done for you is a good way of doing it. Like I think if you get it out there, like and you can watch Bake Off now. Like people love Bake Off. You know, I think for things as well, like, you know, they're doing a big push on news and quality news, so fact check news, like reliable news, accurate news, and that's a big thing in the world of people finding out their news on the internet and half it's rubbish, you know. So they're leaning into that a lot, which I think is a good idea as well. And sports and all that as well, where they're best placed to do a lot of the stuff. So look, watch this space. I think that debate's going to run and run and run, but now that Andy Burnham's in, you never know, some things might happen quickly. You never know. But they'll move it. I was going to say they'll move it all to Manchester, but it's already all in Manchester, isn't it? A lot of it's in Manchester already, isn't it? Yeah, I wish they'd move more of it to Scotland, to be honest with you, but there we go. When recently there was a report that suggested maybe scrap BBC Scotland, which is an absolute outrage if you ask me, but watch this space. They have to save all this money. I don't know where it's going to come from beyond sacking those people, which they seem to be doing at the moment.